here's what the next chapter in the cover-up is gonna look like. And you can base it on some of the latest reporting from friend of the show, Ken Klippenstein over at Substack. The title of his piece, and I urge you all to read it because it's fantastic. National Security Blocks Epstein Files Release. In it, Klippenstein writes that the bill says that if the Attorney General makes a determination that covered information may not be declassified and made available in a manner that protects the national security of the United States, including methods or sources related to national security, the Attorney General, that's Pam Bondi, shall release an unclassified summary for each of the redacted or withheld classified information, as in the Attorney General would get to decide what to release and how to characterize it. So asked by an independent journalist, Michael Tracy, this is what Ken Klippenstein wrote, about a similar carve out for national defense information in earlier legislation back in September, Massey's reply was basically that he had no choice, right? So similar provisions were written in previous legislation that Massey had commented on. Here's what he said. You have to put that in there if you're going to get them to sign it. It's not something I would sit and say, let's put it in there. It's something that when you run the bill past other colleagues and say, can you sign this? In fact, can you get every Democrat to sign it? It's one of those things, or one of the things that was felt was necessary to put in there. And in addition to that, Axios reported just today that Trump's recent directive to the Department of Justice to investigate Epstein's ties to former President Bill Clinton, officials at JP Morgan Chase, and others may cause the files to never see the light of day.
Okay,
because they'll be part of a prosecution and investigation.
Now that takes away all excuses for mainstream media. Why is this a national defense case? I thought it was just two random people that happened to be incredibly powerful somehow and got all the most powerful politicians and wealthy people in the world to go and get these favors and get taped and do all this incredibly sophisticated operation all on their own. So if that's the case, obviously it has nothing to do with national defense.
Can I give you a little more detail? Because this was also just published today. I forget the publication that published this. So Alyssa, if you don't mind, can you just text me and let me know? So the title is House Demands Epstein Financial Records from JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, and US Virgin Islands. The House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform issued a series of subpoenas Tuesday, meeting today, for some of Epstein's financial records. Representative James Comer, chairman of the committee, issued subpoenas to JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, and requested additional documents from US Virgin Islands Attorney General Gordon Rea. JP Morgan Chase began an internal investigation into accounts previously held by Epstein, flagging some 4,700 transactions as suspicious in the process. So my point here is, now the Epstein files are going to be part of an investigation into these banks, which of course that investigation will go nowhere. But as the investigation plays out, our federal government, the executive branch in particular, can basically tell us, buzz off, we can't release this information because it will mess with our investigation.
Yeah, okay, so what's interesting too is there's no investigation of this guy for what, decades, right? And the minute that we are about to get the files, they're like, oh no, we're doing an investigation. Now all of a sudden we're doing an investigation. Golly gee, does that mean we can't give you the files? Oh, shut up already. Anna, I'll tell you though, I don't think any of that is gonna work. So like,
it's not gonna work with the electorate, that's for sure.
That's right. If they
Just the News published that, by the way, sorry, go ahead.
So if they think they're gonna be cute and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we voted to release it, but golly gee, we just started this investigation of Bill Clinton and Larry Summers a minute ago, so I guess we're gonna have to bury it for 2 more decades, right? No, the answer is going to be a hard no, a screaming no from the American people. So the next person that tries to block these records is gonna be in for a whirlwind.
Do you guys understand the trick that members of Congress just played on, or thought that they played on all of us? Because the subpoenas were announced just after the House and Senate voted overwhelmingly to force the Justice Department to release more information about the case it built against Epstein. So basically, this allows for all the various members of Congress, both in the House and Senate, who were part of this cover up, who did not want to vote in favor of releasing the Epstein files. This allows them to look good by voting in favor of transparency, knowing full well the House Oversight Committee is gonna launch an investigation through the direction of Donald Trump into these banks that had ties to Epstein in order to prevent the release of the Epstein files.
Well, what have you been waiting for investigation of the banks? You just occurred to you?
So dirty.
Okay, guys, look, they think we're stupid. And they're used to it because they're used to feeding this crap to mainstream media, who then regurgitates it to you, and you never had any other options for so long. So you literally didn't know all this information that we know now, right? Now it's all in the public, and they think, oh, we're gonna trick them. Now we're gonna start a new investigation, and we're not gonna release it again, and no one's gonna notice. No, brother, everyone's gonna notice. And the next time you block it, we're going to be in a fury over it. Okay, so guys, one more thing about the bipartisan nature of this obvious cover-up. Okay, so the Democrats, hey, way to go! They mainly voted with all of them voted to release the files. That's great, and we got the last Democrat, Grijalva, to break the tie or get us past the vote we needed. Okay, so then the Republicans surrendered. Now, first of all, to the Republicans saying, "Oh no, we were going to vote yes the whole time. We were just waiting." Come on, no one believes that. You were going to block it, and then you failed because your own voters caught you. And so don't give me that crap about how you're going to release it. No, the American people made you release the files. Now go to the Democrats. Okay, but they all voted yes, right? Why was Ro Khanna the only leader among the Democrats who was insisting on this? If this is such a hurtful issue to Trump or anyone else, and golly gee, they're just so geared up to release these files because they've been on it from day one, right? Why wasn't there a squadron of Democrats? Where's Hakeem Jeffries? Where's anybody in their leadership? Why did every other Democrat avoid it like the plague, and Ro Khanna had to force them to go, hey, you know what? Trump is in the files. Maybe you should vote this way. But even then, they're not at the press conference. They're like, even though the only two Republicans for so long on the right side of this were Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, later joined by Mace and Lauren Boebert, right? In the press conference, the Republicans actually outnumbered the Democrats because there was 2 Republicans and only 1 Democrat. When all the Democrats are voting yes, why? Because come on, man, it's so obvious both parties are covering it up. And I guarantee you if the Democrats were in charge, they would be the ones voting no. And so, again, MAGA, nice job, the voters. Look at how you force them to do it. And the last thing is the hope for the future. There's only one other time in my lifetime that I know that this got done from the outside. And that was when Jon Stewart put so much pressure on them on the 9/11 responders healthcare bill that they were all gonna, in the middle of the night, they were gonna be like, screw the first responders. We're not gonna give them any stupid healthcare. Who cares about 9/11? And then he shined this huge spotlight on. They're like, oh, I mean, yeah, sure. God damn it, I was gonna give that to my tax cuts to my rich donors. But okay, fine, here's a nickel and a dime to the first. This is the second time that it's ever happened.
Yeah.
And this was not led by, like, sure, there are people in the media who wanted it, we did, a lot of right-wingers did, etc. But it was mainly led by the voters.
It's always
and the voters roared from both sides and said, no, we've had enough of this crap, and you're gonna release those goddamn files. Stay on them.
Yes.
Stay on them, because they're gonna try 8 different tricks. And we already know the answer. And why are they hiding it this assiduously? Come on, guys. If the American people find out that Israel did it, there's going to be a rage. And so they don't want it because they all want to help Israel and protect Israel. All of mainstream media and almost all of Congress and both parties. Super obvious. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.